everyone. I think the grilled cheese sandwich is like the most, I'm not going to say the most basic, I think it's one step off of just putting a piece of cheese between two slices of bread. So essentially, very straightforward. We're going to go through some steps. You probably think it's pretty easy. It is easy, unless you've watched a video, the Gordon Shamsey video, about how to make a fake grilled cheese, not for gamers. But I'll run through some ingredients first, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I've just got some harvest, this is just some seeded bread. This is harvest seeds and grain. Doesn't really matter what kind of bread you use. I think if you use just a basic sort of white bread, it'll probably burn a little bit quicker than if you're using something a little bit more wholemeal or seed ridden, I guess. So that's the bread we'll be using. Ordinarily, I'd be putting about a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, spreading it on before you're layering on the cheese. I won't be using that today, just because the sandwich is for my partner, and she's got a very basic taste, so I won't be putting that on. But here we've got two types of cheese. This is probably where it's important to use two different types of cheese, unless you're just going to use like some Colby or something that's sort of semi-firm, there's already a good melting cheese. You want something that's got a really good sharp flavour, like I've got a truffled cheddar here, a couple of slices. Now, I like truffle flavour, drives me nuts. It's like catnip for me. I just can't stop, I get the truffle taste. So I like to use a lot of truffle cheese, just sort of a relatively thin layer, but then we've just got some mozzarella cheese. Now, the mozzarella cheese doesn't have a very strong flavour at all, but it's more for the melting factor. So obviously with a grilled cheese sandwich, the most important thing, more important than taste, is the cheese pull at the end for the Instagram photo. So, cheese on the bread, top on like that. You know what, we're 50% there already. So, at the next stage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab the butter. When I get over to the pan, I'm going to lay it in there, and we're going to get to the cooking process of the half. So assembly's done, so we're about to move on. After much thought, I have decided to go with what I normally do for a grilled cheese, which is olive oil, rather than butter. I feel that olive oil gives it a nice crunch on the outside, but also obviously olive oil being a lot better for you. But with olive oil as well, you can use a garlic infused olive oil if you've got something like that available. Much like using garlic butter for the outside, it does give it a bit of a garlic cheesy taste. So it's almost like a cheesy garlic bread grilled cheese sandwich. So I've got this on a medium to high heat. I'm just going to put in a generous helping of olive oil and give it a few moments to heat up, and we'll get that sandwich in there momentarily. The way to test if it's hot enough is just to take a little bit of bread and just drop it in the water. If it starts obviously sizzling and bubbling, then you're hot enough, ready to go. So I'm just going to gently lay this one down in that olive oil, move it around a little bit, just to make sure it doesn't stick in its first few moments of cooking. I'm going to cook this on each side for probably about 1.5 to 2 minutes. And so if you want to set a timer or something like that, I'll cut to then and we'll go ready for the flip. So I'm going to do a flip now. And for this next sort of minute, I'm going to just sort of lightly press it down with like a spatula or just a flat kitchen implement really. I'm just going to be using this silicone flipper, but we'll go for about a minute more, and then we'll pull it out and we'll get to the next stage. Okay, so we've successfully extracted our man here from the pan. Now, if you put a lot of cheese on there, if you really sort of load it up with lots of different kinds of cheese as well, and you have any concerns about it not being melted, you can microwave it for about 10 to 20 seconds. And now this microwaving, it'll melt the cheese, but it won't actually hurt the crispiness of the bread. I don't know if the microphone's picking that up, but they're still quite crunchy on the outside. So I'm going to do the cut now and we'll do the cheese pull. Alright, so wish I chose a sharp knife, that's for sure. Now you see that there. That's now that's really ready to go. There's not much more you have to do for that. You can put that on your Instagram. You can put that on your Facebook, on your Twitter. You could even eat that. You can Snapchat that to your friends, make them jealous of the sandwich that you have just made because you're an adult and you can cook a grilled cheese sandwich. So get out there, go make a grilled cheese sandwich. Shout out to Pfizer. Stay safe, people. All right.